Well, Thomas Partey ready for Chelsea tie. Remember, Arsenal is playing Chelsea on Saturday. That's going to be the biggest game of the weekend, as we obviously welcome back Premier League football ever since these players last kicked a ball in the Premier League on the 13th of October. Welcome to this channel. This is Rokani David, and obviously we thank God for the gift of the Muslims. Barakallahu fikum. We are here to discuss about even other teams. That's why it's called the Football News Show. We are also talking about Palhinha, on how his deal to Bayern Munich is really hard. I'm gonna hate to see Bayern Munich putting out what we call a damage control statement, that it doesn't really rebuke them or really insulate them from the damage that really happened when they really tried to sign this player and their transfer really collapsed in the dying hours of the summer transfer window. And lastly, we have a topic coming in from none other than Robertson. Liverpool have gone ahead to face what we call a huge injury blow of Robertson, that left back of Liverpool, because went ahead to obviously suffer a shoulder injury. And I'm here to present to you how long is this injury going to keep him out as far as that injury is concerned. So let's see close 300 likes match in this video. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has word subscribe and hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified. And we are really left with few people. We are left with few people to hit 18,000 subscribers on this channel, and like 300 guys. So continue to subscribe, because I want us to obviously close this month with 18,000 subscribers. Not so? So guys, let's go eyes and see how things are obviously going to really protract from you as you obviously continue to subscribe to this channel. Now let's talk about Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey, this is a confirmed source that ever since Thomas Partey joined the side of Arsenal, he has always been given what we call an Arsenal physiotherapist known as Samuel Murphy, and has always traveled with him as he goes ahead to obviously do the needful for the Ghanaian national team. And Arsenal lead performance therapist, physiotherapist Simon Murphy has traveled again with Thomas Partey, as Thomas Partey got ready to play for the Ghana national team. And let me show you how he was part of this team of Ghana, and that is the guy. This is Simon Murphy. Special case, because they know how this player is obviously injured. So no sooner had he returned from injury, he had to travel with Thomas Partey as he went ahead to play for Ghana in two encounters. That is against Mexico and against USA. So Thomas Partey is really one of those players that is pivotal. That's why it's it that Arsenal are always sending these physiotherapist with him to see to it that they really see to it that he gets really assessed before obviously going into any game to play, whether he's ready to play or not. Having spent 4 years at Arsenal ever since he signed in the summer of 2022, Thomas Partey has gone ahead to become one of the most valuable assets for Arsenal. That's why you see to it that they send this man with him, and this man knows him in and out. So that's why he travels with him every time he goes for the national team duty. Now, Ghana's manager, that is Chris Hughton, on Thomas Partey, he said Thomas Partey was always only going to play 45 minutes. He has been out injured for 3 to 4 weeks. He came back for Arsenal last midweek, was on the subs bench for one game, played 20 minutes for the next game. So he said this when they were going to play Mexico. When they played Mexico, Thomas Partey just came in through and played 45 minutes for Ghana, and those 45 minutes marked his spell at the side of Ghana. And then in the game of USA, he had to play some more minutes, and that's what shows you that he's ready for the game of Chelsea. Because if at all he went ahead and played all those minutes when he played against USA and Ghana was beaten, I think, by 4-0, it shows you exactly that Thomas Partey has gone ahead to really get much fitness. And I think this is why Arteta wanted him to play some games for the national team of Ghana. and I'm going to be reiterant about what I'm going to hate to say about this. Most players are physically fit and training fit, but they are not much fit. Thomas Partey missed out to play into the midweek game that saw Arsenal lose to Lens in a 2-1 loss to Arsenal, because Arteta was afraid to unleash him. The game was too physical, and you couldn't obviously unleash a player like him when a game was too physical, and Arsenal was obviously looking in for goals, meaning that players that could put their bodies on the line were the only ones allowed to come in through and play part into that fixture, and Thomas Partey was not into that ilk. Now, after that, in the game of Man City, he came on and played 20 minutes. That doesn't really approve him to be ready to obviously play part in any game of Arsenal, you know. So what Arsenal did was to allow him to go for the international break, play for the Ghana national team. After playing for the Ghana national team, he has now gathered in some good minutes in his tank that can see him start for Arsenal as they take on Chelsea. And I think this is exactly what Mikel Arteta is gonna do, and he's starting him in the game of Manchester City. And tomorrow I'm coming up with the match preview, right? With the match preview of Arsenal versus Chelsea, you know, and I'm going to let you know what system this man is obviously going to be playing and how Thomas Partey is going to feature. But the biggest boast, and why I've gone ahead to come in through and put in this title that Thomas Partey is ready for the Chelsea tie, it's because of the minutes he got in his tank when Ghana was playing the side of Mexico and the side of the side of United States of America. And that obviously takes us to where they Thomas Partey really started both games, and he really had a very good goal. Balogun was on target, Pulisic was on target, Reina was on target, and I think those are people that we are really on target. That is it. So 4 goals put past the side of 4 goals were put past the side of Ghana as they played against the side of USA, with the likes of Thomas Partey playing in the midfield with Ado, Mohamed Kudus was there, Pantsteel, and Jordan Ayew. So that was really great for the side of USA to beat Ghana. And obviously when they're taking on Mexico, Thomas Partey was also there, and they conceded 2 goals to nil. So it shows you exactly what the game is obviously being provided to the Ghana national team, and they need to obviously do better and better and better so to either improve their beautiful game of football. But the beautiful thing is that Thomas Partey took part into action and is not injured, ready for Chelsea, and he is really much fit to obviously return and take it to the next level. And we are really waiting for those updates coming in from Mikel Arteta from the pre-match press conference that's going to be held at the London Conley on Friday, as he discusses the side of Arsenal as they pay a visit to Chelsea. Remember, Chelsea has gone ahead to win 2 consecutive games, and Mikhailo Modric was really on fire when Ukraine was beating Malta by 3 goals to 1 to obviously enlighten their chances to play in the Euros of 2024, with England topping the group already and qualifying for that. So it obviously serves the best purpose for the side of Arsenal, and it looks like those minutes that Thomas Partey has gone ahead to get in his tank have acted as a key to the ignition of Mikel Arteta to obviously start him into the game of Chelsea. But the big question is, there is Jorginho, who never played part in the game of Italy and England. That saw England beat Italy by 3 goals to 1. And Declan Rice and Thomas Partey. Can he obviously balance up the team like that? We wait to see how that's going to pan out into that beautiful game of football. But all in all, it's really a huge game for us. So now, leaving Thomas Partey's side alone, let's go ahead and obviously have a say about the man who goes by names of Palhinha. And it coming in from Christian Falk, very close source to the side of Bayern Munich. And they've gone ahead to obviously try to really put respect to the name of Bayern Munich. And they've told us that Internally at Bayern, there are now medical doubts over a potential move for Palhinha. The knee is considered a problem. In addition, after signing a new deal, he'll be even more expensive. Therefore, Bayern are considering alternatives such as Calvin Phillips. This is Toby, a reporter for Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and Augsburg, plus Christian Falk, head of football at Sports Build and Build Sport. So, Palhinha, to take you back to where it started and how it ended, on the deadline day, he was on plane to Bayern Munich. He went ahead and really underwent the medical, passed it. He even took photos of him into that jersey of the side of Bayern Munich. Now, that deal collapsed because of the amount of money that Fulham was really requesting in for. They obviously had to find themselves in a position of not getting the signed contract in time from Fulham, and the deal collapsed. Palhinha traveled back to England, and he's now gonna have to sign a new contract of 4 years with Fulham. Now, I really understand how this works out for a player like Palhinha. And Bayern Munich are trying to obviously defend themselves, because it's really disgusting that you fail to sign a player from Fulham. That's why we're talking about any injury. Now, for a player who passed the medical at Bayern, and he obviously went ahead to obviously put on the jersey, took the photos, and the deal collapsed because of money. How come? Tell us that you are 100% pulling out of the deal because this guy is really having any injury. That is out. The fact is, they're trying to do what we call a control damage, all damage control, because it's shaming for Bayern to fail to sign a player from Fulham. It's very shaming. That is it. Very, very shaming, because Fulham is a very, 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 very little club, and Bayern failing to sign that player after signing Harry Kane is really a very huge blow. And the signing of 4 years on his contract is going to hate to obviously put them in a situation of knowing that they can now not get the player, because Fulham can even call in for 100 million euros. That is it, because Palhinha is one of the best CDMs I've seen in the Premier League ever since he came in through. He was among my best three last season. That is Casemiro, Rodri, and Palhinha. That is it. When you add on the Casidos, Declan Rice, but I think was ranked highly up there. So, the other factor I want to reflect on this matter is one of the top bosses of Bayern Munich came out and said, we missed out on certain details, and that's why we missed out on the player. But in the January transfer window, we'll try to go in and obviously sign Palhinha. But they'll opt for players like Calvin Phillips, because he's going to be up for sale in the January transfer window, and he wants to leave the club because he's not getting enough playing time. He might miss out onto the Euros. So that's a damage control being put out by the side of Bayern Munich, but trust me, they just failed, and it's a shame for them. So they are trying to put out stories to obviously do what we call a spin. We who support Man United know how spin is all done by the Glazers in their entire career. Now, after that, injuries are becoming injuries to different Premier League teams, and the latest suspect is Liverpool. As Scotland played in the friendly with France, their man, known as Andy Robertson, walked off the field of play with an injury. And finally, we have a report coming in from David Murdoch, Daily Mirror, North football correspondent, confirming to us that Andy Robertson's shoulder injury is likely to keep him outside line until December at the earliest. And 10 weeks if surgery is required. Now, 10 weeks if surgery is required. Guys, it's not good news. It's not good news. It's not good news, because for Liverpool, even though you have Smiskas, you wouldn't like to see another player injured in a situation where you're playing 2 games per week. You're playing in the UEFA Europa League and you're playing into the weekend. That's really tiresome. You need at least to really rotate. One of the best positions that Liverpool look balanced was the left back position, because they have two players that obviously good. Smiskas and Robertson are almost the same. Though Robertson is the first choice, but his backup doesn't blow hot and cold when he's brought on. So the replacement is there, but the problem is how far is this going to be held, because even Smiskas, because of the number of games he's going to be playing, might find himself injured. So that is it. Let's wait and see how that's going to happen. But he joins the likes of Cody Gakpo, Thiago Silva, Thiago Alcantara. Those are some of the injured players they're really having at the team of Liverpool. They're not having very many injuries, but it doesn't look good if at all you lose Robertson onto an injury. So guys, your thoughts onto Thomas Partey ready for Chelsea tie are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Palhinha? Allegations coming in from Bayern. Do you agree with them or not? And lastly, what are your thoughts about Robertson, and his injury that might keep him out for 10 weeks? Jesus. Do you know what they mean? 10 weeks to be out. Very bad news for Liverpool. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I'm calling in for your reactions in the comment section below. Smash the like button close to 300 times. Don't forget to subscribe. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. Those going to bed, good night.